Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I will show you how I made this gorgeous rainbow felted celebration crown and this gorgeous pink velvet cape. So let's get right into it. So the first material I have here is a cotton felt, which I use for the backing of the crown. Next I have this beautiful hand-dyed piece of pure wool felt. I purchased this from a fiber artist called Maria Borelli, and her Facebook page is called Heartfelt. Next I have this gorgeous pink velvet fabric. You're going to need paper, scissors, a ruler, and a pencil to draw the pattern. Here I have a ribbon and some sari silk, but I don't end up using the silk. Here I have some gorgeous hand-dyed vintage cotton dollies. I'll be stitching these onto my crown, and I purchased these from a vendor on Facebook Marketplace. And I have this trim here, this rainbow grimp braid. You're going to need fabric, scissors, measuring tape, and embroidery needles. I use this beautiful pastel embroidery floss that I purchased from Winterwood. I have a few different glass beads here, and I end up using the silver ones for this project. I have all these different colored sequins that I end up using as well to decorate the crown. And finally, I'll be using 2 of these Philly Tree metal vintage cloak clamps, and I'll be using them for the cape. And so let's get started. So I just cut out my crown stencil, and I just placed it against the inner felt fabric, and I'm just going to trace it with the dressmaking pencil and cut it out. So I drew on the pattern now, and I love how in the center it kind of is where the yellow and green meet. So make sure that wherever you're going to draw your pattern, you like the print, because every side is different. See here, there's a bit of a splotch here of orange. Here there's some splotches of green into the blue. So you have to, I chose a section that kind of, the rainbow's kind of intact except for a bit of a gray section here on the purple. But that's the charm of hand-dyed. Got the material cut, and I was just figuring out the design. I have this rainbow grimp braid thing that I'm definitely going to put on the front. I'm going to blanket stitch using a pastel rainbow cotton embroidery string. I'm going to do that to the top and maybe the bottom as well. And I'm going to make this ribbon go through it. Instead of attaching it to both sides, I'm going to actually make it go in between the layers of the felt. I measured it, it's about 114 centimeters, and so I put it on my daughter's head and tied it up, and it makes the perfect bow, so it's just the right size. I also just bought this braid that's also rainbow color, so it's matching that, but it has some silver on it as well. And then I have these sequins that I'm going to put them with the matching colors. So I'm going to start with stitching the dollies onto the felt, and then I will continue with doing the sequins on the felt, and then I will use some needles to put the ribbon in place between the 2 layers. And then I'll blanket stitch the bottom, and then I'll do the top. So I finished stitching on the sequins and the beads. And what I did also is this trim here had some excess here on both sides. And so I didn't want to just cut it because then it was gonna start fraying. So I tucked it, I used the needle and thread, and I just kind of threaded it under there, like in there somewhere. So it won't be shown from the back. And so I just made sure that it was stayed tucked in from the sides. And so now all I have left, oh wait, I'll show you the back anyway of what it looks like. In the video I forgot to show you that when you do thread and you thread your sequence and your bead and then you go back in, make sure to knot it off at the back before moving on to the next one and the next one. I didn't show that in the video, but yeah, you do have to knot it off. Like go through the very thin layer of the felt and just do that a few times and then knot it and then move to the next one. So that's what the back looks like. And now, yeah, I'm just going to blanket stitch top edge. I'm going to start from here, right at the ribbon. And I'm going to try and get that tucked in as well as I go along. Same thing with this side. Try and get that little piece tucked in and finish off right here. So I've done the blanket stitch on the top, and here's what it looks like. The only thing I have left is to just trim these ribbons, and then I'm going to put a tiny bit of glue to make sure it stays in place. You could also burn it, but I'm worried that burning it will cause it to turn black or brown. So I'm going to cut it now and just put some glue. So I decided to add the rainbow trim to around the edge here. I have plenty to go around. I'm not going to stitch it like I did with the crown. I'm just going to glue it, and I'll show you what that looks like. So I finished stitching them on. It's not very pretty. I'm not sure exactly how I'm supposed to do it, so I did my best, but the main thing is that it clicks into each other. I couldn't be more pleased with how it turned out. My daughter is absolutely in love with her costume. This celebration crown and cape is fairly easy, and I'm sure I'll do many more. If you like this video, please consider subscribing. And as always, thanks for watching.